Okay, happy Shushan Purim, everyone. We asked the question, your friend gives you an item and you hop on an airplane and you take it with you to Israel, and of course there's no quarantine at that time, and you arrive in Israel, and lo and behold, after you disembark, you realize that there was some damage to your bag and the items are missing. You put in a report of damage and lost goods, and the airline, yes, they recognize they made a mistake, and they compensate you for the number of items that were broken, that were lost, that were damaged. The question is going to be, what do you do once you receive a check from the airline? The check from the airline is $500, and the item that your friend gave you was $50. What do you do? Are you obligated to give them their money for their item? What do you do? So the way we have to explain this is, when your friend gives you an item, you are not getting paid, obviously. So it's called a unpaid watchman, a shomer chinam. Things get broken or stolen, you're not liable. When you give it to the airplane, when you put it on the airplane, you're paying for your ticket. So therefore, the airline turns into a paid watchman, which is called a shomer sachar. A shomer sachar is obligated to cover any costs of damages or negligence, or then gets stolen. So of course, they'd be obligated to compensate you. So in theory, what you might think is that great, you just made money. Why? You have $500. You don't have to pay the other person, because you'd be like, listen, it was damaged or whatever, and I'm exempt because I was an unpaid watchman. I don't have to pay. But the rule is that the Talmud says is, no, you're not allowed to benefit. What? You lose your friend's item and that gift, and then you're gonna make money off it? It's one thing if it gets ruined or damaged, you have to pay for compensation. But the fact that you're gonna then turn a profit on it, not only the rabbis were not willing to accept, and therefore they said that no, in such a situation, if a person who's unpaid gives it to the person who's paid, and there's some type of damage, and therefore they get compensation, you get compensation, you would have to pass that money over to the to your friend who gave it you back home to then deliver it to somebody else. I believe that would be the proper thing to do. Now, the value is a little bit complicated, because I think the general practice is that, let's say it wasn't a brand new item, right? So gifts are usually brand new items. It's kind of weird to give someone a used item. But if it's a used item, it's a little more complicated. If it's a brand new item, we all know that, let's say it's a phone. We know that a used phone is worth much less than a brand new phone if it's in the original packaging. And even in many ways, but the airline will give you the value to replace that item. So it's a brand new phone taken to Israel, they'll give you whatever. If it's a used item, they probably give you the amount of money for a new one in order for you to find it. It's kind of hard to give. So that is more complicated, how much you have to give them. Assuming it was clear, the item was worth $500, that's what you was destroyed, you'd have to $50, you have to just pay back that amount to the original person who gave it to you. I believe that would be the correct answer. Have a wonderful Wednesday.